vulnerable. But I love what these sheriffs are doing, because that's exactly what I work with, is the vulnerable and the ones that are mentally challenged. And we do need more help. So the fact that they're funding, we're wondering who's helping with the situations in probate court. But my name is Jody White, and I'm from Wayne County, but I have been an advocate for probate court and the vulnerable and the people that are being abused by the system. And so, I see where you're coming with some of your issues with the finances, and our concern is how the court is using their funding with probate court. And one of the commissioners, when I left, made a comment about the reputation of Oakland County Probate Court. And even the fact that one of our judges just got removed, a couple months ago, it's kind of embarrassing. And the administrator, and I don't want to name names because they have roles that are supposed to be very important. And the role of that administrator is to help the people when there's a complaint or a problem. And then he calls and gets help. And all of us citizens that have been in probate court in Oakland County, we're still sitting there not being helped. So like I told earlier, and I recognize a few of the faces, we've been in probate court since 2012, and we finally had our jury trial last week. I was supposed to speak, but you guys were busy with the sheriff. And the verdict came back guilty. So I have a brother-in-law that is now guilty of a co-trustee crime of racketeering, embezzling, and not paying their taxes. The Attorney General was involved. It was a 12-year situation. 26 minutes, the jury came back with guilty. The problem is there is a list of names that Oakland County has that exclusively uses certain attorneys, and this particular attorney has been on the list forever. He was removed from the state list from the Attorney General as a public county administrator, 4 of them from here. It was August of 2019. They were removed. And you can go up and see the list. I don't want to get in trouble for slander, but this is all of public knowledge. And my concern at this point is because one co-trustee is now looking at 3 years to 30 years, and we were promised a special fiduciary to watch over what happened. Our family owns the old winery building on Grand River and Orchard Lake. Have you seen it lately? And it's because we've had this special fiduciary on our family assets since 2012. It is now 2024. The other co-trustee got convicted. He is now a criminal. He will be, like I said, he'll be sentenced in January. We're wondering why the other co-trustee, the attorney, is not being looked into it. And he's not only the co-trustee, but he was the special fiduciary beforehand, and then he was also the personal representative, which was there's all these people that are put into place to kind of watch. But if it's the same person, no one's babysitting him. But my husband and I, Jeff White, and myself, Jody White, and I'll make it quick. We were the ones looking at it. We ended up purchasing with the Court of Appeals a Court of Appeals, and on September 13th, 2018, we won our Court of Appeals. That there was an error made in probate court with Judge O'Brien, and that was the day that the sheriffs harmed me in the hallway. And I don't know who all knows the story, but it was out there that I was a state rep candidate and was assaulted by one of these sheriffs, and they stole all the cameras. So we're going to continue to fight, one, to clear my name because I'm not a felon. My brother-in-law is the felon. He did something wrong. If I just have one more second, please. If you don't mind, I was supposed to tell you guys all this at the last meeting, but you guys keep taking everybody else. So is there a way you can shut that off? It's really kind of triggering me.
Well, your 3 minutes are up, so thank you very much.
So if anybody would like to care about my topic, it is your guys' courthouse. That man that sat up here and talked about it's a contractor position, because the Oakland County courts come and sit in your building, in your venue, and represent your county. And I'm from Wayne County, and I don't like what's going on in Oakland County, because my brother-in-law is now the convicted felon, and nobody seems to care what's going on up there with what's happening. And if it ever happens to any of your family, we are called the VIPs, Victims in Probate, and we will be there for you also. And one last thing, because it was also in the last meeting, Lisa Brown is the clerk, and she has funding over there for the e-filing. And I guess you guys are getting money to fund that. I want to thank you for that, because I sit in there and I do a lot of research, and they're helping a lot of people, but you also need a probate section there to help the probate people, because we don't need these attorneys that like to make money off of harming family members. And so I will be back every 2 weeks to keep telling you guys a little bit more about our stories because we find that you don't really know what's going on. So
Thank
again, I
you.
appreciate the extra minute. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. And thank you again.
Extra
for
couple
being here.
minutes.
Ma'am, with all due respect, my brother-in-law is looking at 30 years in jail and he had an attorney that's on your exclusive list that should have been protecting our family. So if there's any way as a commission, you guys are looking at policies and procedures, please look into that. Thank you. So that was another 30 seconds.
Thank you. Commissioner Powell?
I just had one closing comment. Overall, just to piggyback on our probate court, me and Spears went to talk to them years ago, and I'm just gonna lead us at this, lead us here. Some investigations need to happen, and I was on record saying, even with Ryan being removed, that anybody of color or LBGTQ, if you were in her chamber, you need to go get your case relooked at. And so with that being said, I've always had my concerns with probate, because if you all remember when we first got on, they were here every meeting. Now they're back, and I think the time is good that they're back, especially after Ryan, but all of this needs to be looked into. Our probate has been on alert for a very long time. They have people in place, I think, to keep us blocked from what we can do as commissioners. I know we limited in what we can do, but I wanted to say that and go on a record that I've always had my suspicion about our probate court. Some of the judges, not all of them. Thank you.
Thank you. Yep, I think we all agree with that comment.
Thank you.